Hey everybody, this is the Branch 458 podcast. I'm Casey Ritchie. Um, just want to say thank you to everybody that joined us last night here at the Union Hall. We had our Christmas party that we have every year. Everybody brings a side dish, a dessert, something that they want to share with everybody. Mark Simone smoked turkeys and ham for us, and they were great. We had some great conversation, very good turnout. So thank you everybody that came and enjoyed the company, and everybody that brought something for everybody to share and enjoy. Immediately after that, we had our branch meeting. Uh, Very good turnout for that. Matt Tanner was here from National. He's our letter carrier political liaison for 10 states, including Oklahoma. But he's always welcome, a good time every time he's here. He swore in Megan Sperling as our trustee. And we just had a great meeting. We adopted some new bylaws, had some good business go on. So if you guys have never been to a branch meeting, I encourage you to come. They are the second Thursday of every month at 7:30 here at the Union Hall. So, having said that, this is probably going to be a shorter episode this week. I just wanted to address some things. Something that has been kind of hot and heavy is safety. So, safety has been out. They've been putting people off the clock for safety infractions or what they think are safety infractions. We would disagree with a lot of those sometimes, but it is what it is whenever safety's out there, and we have to deal with them placing you off the clock at a later date. But the thing that they're really focusing on now, especially that it's getting colder outside, is letter carriers that are starting their vehicle and they are not in their seat and they're outside of the vehicle while it is running. So we all know that we can do that in our personal vehicles, and some of us have a remote start and stuff like that. But it's something, and I'll get to it in just a second on the Notice 76, the expanded vehicle safety check. It even notes that if you're not in the seat, your vehicle should not be running. So that's just an easy rule. And some of these LLVs still have the stickers in them that say something along the lines of if your butt's not in the seat, then the the engine should not be running. Um, so even if you have to thaw out your window, get with your management team. They should have those de-icer sprays or the scrapers, something like that to de-ice your windows. But we cannot have them running when we're not in them. If safety catches you, they will place you off the clock. Another thing that they are really coming down on is carriers wearing earbuds while they are driving. Um, I know it's things are kind of a little different now. Almost everybody everywhere is wearing Apple earbuds or any type of Bluetooth hearing device. They're either on the phone or listening to music or maybe even this podcast. But our rules are if you're not stationary, like standing in a fixed spot. So while you're casing your route, you're just standing there. You can wear earbuds, you can listen to music, but whenever you're driving, whenever you're walking, you're supposed to take them out. That way you can be aware, situationally aware of what's going on around you. Safety has been putting people off the clock if they catch you wearing earbuds while you're driving. So look out for that. Just be safe out there. Be complacent. Don't get complacent with what you're doing. Be situationally aware. Robberies are still on the rise. They're still happening across the nation. We hear stories about it all the time. So they just, I know they have good intentions about it. I'm not really in the arena or the in agreement that they should be putting people off the clock for it, but that that's their intent is make sure you guys are paying attention, and they are part of our rules in chapter 8 of the ELM and all that stuff. So um, we'll get into Notice 76, the expanded vehicle safety check. This is something that I think a lot of people kind of rush through in the morning. Um, and you've heard us talk about it before on this podcast. We've been going over route inspections quite a bit recently. They're coming hot and heavy this new year with T-REAP ending and management trying to get back all those routes that they lost there. We kind of gained a bunch of routes across the nation, but they're trying to cut routes everywhere. Um, vehicle safety checks are something that we have to do every day. We get a minimum of 3 minutes for it, no matter what. It's guaranteed, but that's a minimum. And if you do your expanded vehicle safety check correctly, most of the time, it's going to take you probably a little bit more than 3 minutes to complete. Um, so I'm just going to start. I'll read it. It's in the M41. Some vehicles, it's actually inside of the vehicle. It's posted what that expanded vehicle check is. It's 24 points. And there's a note here on the bottom. I'll just read that one first. This checklist has been designed to take the driver in a logical sequence around a right-hand drive vehicle with a minimum of lost motion. For left-hand drive vehicles, move from the front to the right side rather than to the left side. For items 16 and 17, if no assistance is readily available, handle personally. And then the note I was talking about earlier, it says never leave the vehicle unattended while running. Always have a partner to check vehicle. See additional instructions on the reverse. On the reverse, the instructions say check the items shown on the other side of this form on the initial use of each vehicle each day. Report deficiencies, body damage, or inappropriate items to your supervisor using Form 4565, the vehicle repair tag, so the condition can be corrected or another vehicle can be provided. If there are no vehicle deficiencies, proceed to your first assignment. So I read that portion first because it is the instructions of the form. It's the note that I was talking about. It's designed so that you can go around your vehicle in a logical sequence without using um, loss of motion. So the very first thing on there is inspect under the vehicle for fluid leaks. Secondly, you're going to inspect front tires for uneven wear and underinflation. And something to note here is if you're working off the clock, if you're moving your vehicle before your tour even starts, or if you're going out and you're immediately moving your vehicle to another spot, maybe it's easier to load, maybe you're moving it under a dock or an awning or something, you're not going to be able to see if you have fluid leaks. And then if your tires are flat or underinflated and you're moving your vehicle, it's certainly not good on those tires. So you want to do this before you operate the vehicle at all. So we'll move on. Check number 3. Check the hood can be latched securely. Check front for body damage. Check left side for body damage. Check left door. Check for complete accident report kit if stowed on inside left of the vehicle. Number 7, check for rear end leaks. 8, inspect rear tires for uneven wear or underinflation. Check rear for body damage. Check rear door lock. Check right side of body for body damage. Check right side door locks. Open and move into the driving position. Check for complete accident report kit. Start engine. So you don't even start your engine until number 15. And you'll notice that it's after you open the door and move into the driving position. So again, like I stated before, if you're not sitting in the seat, you shouldn't have your engine running. So a lot of times, and I think I'm guilty of it too, you stand outside of the vehicle and you start it, see if it's going to run, and you immediately turn it off. So we want to get into the seat, start the engine, and then proceed with number 16, which is with assistance, adjust pot lid mirrors and rear view mirrors. So this is something that you're not going to have to do daily. If you do have to do it daily, most likely those mirrors are loose, and that is something that you can submit on that 4565, the vehicle repair tag, to have your mirrors tightened up because you're having to adjust them daily. But if you're using the same vehicle daily, you shouldn't have to adjust your mirrors every day, but you'll verify that they're in the correct spot. That's with number 16. With assistance, check headlights, taillights, brake lights, flashers, and directional signals, front and rear. 18, adjust center rear view mirror if you have one. Number 19, check operation of windshield wipers and your washer fluid. 20, check operation of horn. Inspect gauges for proper operation. And that one, an easy note, your odometer, your speedometer. Of course, you can't check that in the parking lot. That's something that you'll notice whenever you head to your route. But you can check your other gauges, like your oil pressure gauge, your temperature gauge, your fuel gauge, things like that. 22, check foot brake. 23, check emergency brake. 24, check seatbelt and fasten. And then that's the end of the checklist. And again, I'll read the note. The checklist has been designed to take the driver in a logical sequence around a right-hand drive vehicle with minimum of lost motion. For left-hand drive vehicles, move from the front to the right side rather than the left side. For items 16 and 17, if no assistance is readily available, handle personally. So 16 and 17, let's go back to those. 16 is with assistance, adjust pot lid mirrors and rear view mirrors. So it says if no assistance is readily available, handle personally. And then 17 is with assistance, check headlights, taillights, brake lights, flashers, and directional signals. So that's going to be a little difficult for you to do on your own without assistance. So hopefully someone is there to help you. But if there's not, just keep in mind that once you exit the vehicle, your engine cannot be running. So if you're at step 16 and 17, your engine will be running. Turn it off, get out of the vehicle, adjust your mirrors to where you think they should be, jump back in there, see if they're in the right spot, and repeat as many times as you need to. And then, of course, your headlights, it's probably going to be easy to check. Tail lights, if you're backed up against a wall, it might be easy to look. But it's almost you're going to need assistance to check your tail lights unless you have a reflective surface behind you that you can see if they're working or not. So again, this is something that is kind of overlooked. We go out there, we rush through it, we get back inside so that we can get out to the street and get done faster. But this is here for our safety. That's why it's a vehicle safety checklist. It's something that is part of our daily office work. We do it on office time, so it should be the very first thing that you do, maybe after a service talk. You get your vehicle keys, you go out there, you do the safety check. And the reason it's the first thing that we do is so that we can turn it in with that 4565 vehicle repair tag. And VMF can get out there and fix it while we're working in the office if it's something that needs attention immediately. Or they can give you another vehicle to use until it is repaired. So that's why it's the first thing we do. Again, we get a minimum of 3 minutes to do those things, and we go out there and we just do our job. So work safely. If another note, if you have a vehicle that is just unsafe, it's something that you feel like you cannot drive. Let's say your brake lights are out, or worse, your brakes are failing, and they might work a little bit, but they're like you can tell that they're diminished quite a bit, and they're not working great at all. So you turn that in, and they give you another vehicle, and while you're loading that new vehicle, you look over and you see that a CCA or an RCA or someone that you've borrowed is using that vehicle that you just turned in because it was unsafe. That's something that should not be happening. That's a safety risk for you, for them, for everybody else on the road. If the brake lights didn't work or the brakes didn't work, and that's just an example. That's one I'm thinking of right this second. But uh, we should be reporting that to the supervisor, who is probably the one that instructed them to use it anyway. But maybe grab your steward in the office, grab another experienced carrier. If you have somebody in the office that's on the safety committee, or someone that has a lot of tenure there that management respects, or anybody that they'll listen to, grab them and tell them, hey, this is unsafe. They do not need to be using that vehicle. Write it up on a 1767 safety hazard form that they are using that vehicle. Um, you don't want to get yourself in trouble if the situation, they're pushing it and things are arising, but that is kind of a serious situation that if it's a safety concern, nobody needs to be driving that vehicle. It should be tagged. It should be out of service until it's fixed. In that example, the brakes don't work, the brake lights don't work. That's a serious safety hazard. If a wreck happens, I mean, we all know what's going to happen next. Management's going to issue discipline on that carrier because it's their fault that they drove that vehicle. So we need to look out for one another, make sure that we're all working safely, and that's it that I have this week. Just safety's out in full force, which is sad. I mean, this is the holiday season. We're all busy. We're all trying to do our best to get home to our families during this time. Um, but everyone work safely. If you guys like these shorter episodes, let me know. If you want more lengthy episodes, I'll definitely do that. I'll give the people what they want. So everybody work safely. Have a happy holiday season. And until next time, thanks.